Okay, it's working.
All right.
Hey, Matt, we're all the same person.
What is your question?
Front page of your annual report. The juvenile.
No.
No.
Okay, at 7 o'clock, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Darcy, if you don't call roll, please.
Moore.
Here.
Mar.
Here.
Moody.
Here.
Engstrom.
Here.
Engelhardt.
Here.
All right, thank you. Item number 3 is the pledge. So everybody at the table, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item 4 then is perfection and approval of the agenda. Item 11 on the agenda we can take off. Work out tonight, so keep on searching. I think that was it for, okay, all right. Yeah, it was a bummer. Okay, item 5 then is public comment time. Anybody that wants to speak, come on up.
Have we approved the agenda? No, we haven't yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we have to approve the agenda, yes.
I
Now,
move that we
All right.
approve the agenda.
all right, that's a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks. I'm sorry.
So I failed to get this on the agenda last week because I was a little distracted with the movie premiere and everything. So this is just sort of our heart and soul send off and final. Like, I gave you guys the action plan. Well, I wasn't here, but you got the action plan last month. So I thought if you guys had any questions about that, you can ask them. And then I asked the Heart and Soul team to be here, of which 2 of them are already like here physically. I'm always here every time. Val showed up. Brenda had an emergency come up, and Christy has a newborn and is probably simultaneously running the daycare board meeting right now. We're here in pieces. And just a couple things on the action plan. It is available also by PDF. If you want to email to PDF, it's available on the Facebook page. It's available on Hometown to the World. I have finished the Spanish version of it. I always like to let things sit for a week and stop looking at them and then edit. Because your brain is fresh. So that should be released in the next 2 weeks, but it's done. I just need to look through it and have then someone else look through it to make sure my Spanish is good. We're just kind of wrapping things up. So the action plan, essentially the whole Heart and Soul process gave us the why and the what. And then the action plan gives us kind of the how and a little bit more what. And all we have to do is pass that on to the community developer and start getting stuff done. So we're pretty much done.
Will it be on the City of Postville website?
Yes, yeah. I just need to actually maybe ask someone to do that instead of just assume. So yeah, I'll add it to my list. And absolutely, because there is a Heart and Soul tab already. Yeah. So we've got our statements there. I think there's one language I need to send as well for the statements, possibly Somali. And then, the action plan could be there too. So any questions for me while I'm here?
Can you tell us about your trip to Texas? How that went?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was very
not the
very
one part,
fruitful.
but the trip itself.
I think, did I not share already? Or I thought I shared with you guys because I think I came to the meeting after. That was in April. So I did come. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh, so I did go to Texas. I went to Dallas to the Welcoming America Conference, which is a conference all about helping immigrants feel welcome and helping them, function in society and our communities. And I went last year as a guest of the Community Foundation of Dubuque, and I went this year as their guest and as presenter. And we were the only session. I presented with 2 folks from Community Foundation, one Clara Ortiz, who is from Postville. We presented about all the things we're doing in Northeast Iowa, Postville specifically. It was the only session that was about rural issues. And it was standing room only. People were sitting in the hallway outside the door. And there were other sessions that I walked by that had like 10 people in it, and our room had space for about 100. So it was a very popular session. We had lots of people thanking us because folks like us go to these sessions and it's like someone from Colorado where they're like, their equity and language budget is $3 million or something, right? And you're like, how does that apply to me? So it was really great. Attended sessions, learned a lot of stuff, got some great ideas about language access and things like that. So it was a really great time. So yeah, and got Postville out there again in a positive light. So, and then I was hoping, if there aren't any other questions, sorry if I interrupted someone, that our team, if they felt like it, the Heart and Soul team would give like a sentence or two about the biggest impact this project had on them. So I don't know, Mary, if you want to think about it. I think Belle's ready to go.
Oh, okay.
I
Tonight,
don't know
you
if
mean?
Darcy wants to or not. It's up to you, Darcy.
You're talking about tonight? Did you say? Talk about it tonight.
Yeah, just a quick
Oh,
like
okay.
because we're finishing.
Okay.
So just a quick.
Okay.
What do you think the project did?
I think what sticks out in my mind is the fact that here in Postville, your community has grown. The other communities in Alameda County have not. And the fact that when you look at the median age of Postville versus my other communities, you
Closer
guys
to the
are,
mic.
are much younger. Okay, so for me, that is from an economic development standpoint, why I was involved from the get-go, is because I look at this as our next generation of workers and how many can we keep and what can we do to help them so that they are skilled workers. And so that is why I was involved from the get-go. I was very excited to see that we had a board of supervisor at the event last week, and that we had Tom Clark there who is running. We had Susan Snow from Effigy Mountains National Monument, which they have a couple of interns that are from different diverse backgrounds. So that is a plus. And then I did have Georgie reach out from Ashley Henson's office for the video to share with her staff. And then I did share it again with Rochelle, who is with Grassley's office, and she would make sure to share that with her staff. So I sent it to Ann and Mike. I didn't hear back, but I mean, that's okay. I think the big thing is that we changed the narrative and that there's some really good positive things happening and that we seem to be on the same page and that we have this document that should be a solid document to work from. Awesome.
Thanks.
You want to share something, Mary?
I'm not as eloquent as Val. I'm just glad to see, well, having Crystal be so involved in it, this really made the thing. So that was awesome. And I was glad to see that people who have lived in Blissville their whole lives were listened to and their opinions mattered and they felt heard, that we welcome immigrants, but we love having the people we have. Everyone's welcome here. So I guess I like that part of it. And just all the surveys that people answered and all the different, we got a list of a whole bunch of things people would like to see. And, that's kind of a roadmap as to where we want to go. So, yeah.
Darcy, you want to say anything or you just glad it's over?
I guess one of the things that I think was brought to light for me was of this community and all the different backgrounds and cultures, that there was a lot of the same things that were important to people. Like safety was a number one thing, and just things that were brought to light, maybe even as city officials, that we heard the community and maybe are becoming more of a priority for us with our planning. So
I think it's good to know too, a lot of the community has your back for some things you were already working on, right? Like, so that's what's really cool to me. Things that you were already doing, things that we were able to share. We're doing this, why isn't the city doing anything about housing? Oh, they are actually. They bought this land next to Dollar General. Did you know that? Those kinds of things. So anyway, any other questions? I won't hog any more time. I know it's public comment. Sorry I didn't get it on the agenda.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Crystal.
Yeah. Okay, any other public comment? If not, then let's go on to item number 6, and that's ICAP renewal. Tara couldn't be with us tonight, but I guess the one thing that we wanted to talk about without her even is like, it's a big increase, this insurance thing. And so it's kind of important when you get increases like that. And I think, everybody that's sitting out there, if you got insurance, you're paying more. So we're trying to do the best we can with the tax dollars we've got, so you had a packet, you got the packet last month. And I guess the big thing is if you got any questions on that, I think we can probably answer some without having an agent next to us, but it's just, we think it's important that everybody knows that there's just going to be a big increase. And doesn't mean that you got a big increase. That doesn't mean you're paying for more for coverage. You're honestly getting not what you're paying for, but that's how this world is going. So, yeah. And if I got any insurance agents out there, I'm sorry, but this is a personal talk right now. So, yeah.
At the condominium where I live, just in the last 6 months, it went up over $1,200.
Yeah.
Just for a 12-unit condominium. And it's $3,500 more.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And we're all insurance for.
Yep, getting there. You bet.
Suggesting, yes, we should look for a second opinion or second bids.
I think, why wouldn't you? I mean, we every time, the city spends money, and especially at a certain amount of money, you're required to get a second bid, and I don't know, I'm not really saying that tonight, but I'm saying, do you all understand what we're getting for the dollars?
ICAP, by the nature of the beast, is somewhat is it endorsed by the state or promoted by the state? It's like the state's funded, sponsored, supported. What's the relationship there, Darcy?
It's an insurance pool. So
Okay.
multiple cities and counties make up the pool. And there's really only 2 insurance that municipalities can get. It's either ICAP or it's EMC. And if you remember when Tara was here, she said you're not going to see a cost savings by going one way or another. Right now, we're fully invested in ICAP, so we're getting those good member credits. I think I saw it mostly on the workers' comp this year. That was down unbelievably. We did drop the fire, but it was less even after that. And I think it's because of our history. We've had issues as far as workers' comp. But I don't know that you're going to see any savings by getting a quote from EMC. I think Tara talked about that last time she was here. She did run some different deductibles for you, and I think looking at those, there's really not that big of a savings to change that.
And that was always the thing that, you could, if you upped your deductible, that your premiums would be less, but that's not even the case anymore. So
Wasn't there dropping some buildings that were maybe not so
But
valuable anymore?
we're not really seeing that big of a change. So last year, I think our premium dollar amount we paid out was like $86,000. And this year, the premium amount is $122,115.
Did you get a quote from the EMC? Do we have time?
I don't know that you have time because our policy ends June 30th, and this would be July 1st. So
well,
I think just for the sake of the public hearing it and
yeah,
understanding it, that's probably why I didn't expect we were going to be jumping one way or another because of the credits we built. You bring up those credits that we've accumulated over time. But the public needs to hear it and it's reported that we've had this discussion.
Right.
any more comment on that at all? Do we need to?
we just need a motion to approve the renewal.
All right. Need a motion to approve the renewal with ICAP.
I'll move to renew the insurance renewal with ICAP.
All right. Second,
It's like,
I would second that.
this was regular vote.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Opposed say no. All right, carried. Item 7 then is we got Crystal back.
Okay. It's not me. I mean, I see that it's me here, but what it should say on the agenda is Heart of Postville, which is the group that we formed as part of Heart and Soul. That is the group that is going to take over officially the welcoming of new folks to town. So I just want to be clear that it's not me asking for a thing. It is this group of people, which I believe we have like 4 people. And Val's kind of part of it, but we're trying to get it to be people in town. So Val's there. I'm sending her the emails, but it really is in town folks. Deborah, are you part of it as well? You can only I made her part of it, whether she wants to or not. Mary is part of this group, and Annette, right? We're all part of this this group. So it's not just me here. So coming back to talk to you guys about potentially using a very small amount of upstairs in City Hall for some storage of clothing and small household items. So the concerns that I heard on the phone were that we were worried about the public. They aren't going to be there or involved. The public is not going to be in the space. Things are not going to be distributed from the space. They're not going to be at City Hall. So just so that's clear. The other concerns I
Well,
heard.
let me ask something.
Sure.
How are they gonna get their stuff?
Do you want me to explain that or go?
Why don't you go to your thing and I'll ask you?
Sure. Okay. Because I got that was another concern I heard. So I'm linear right now.
Okay.
So the donations will be brought in by the Heart of Postville team, which is not just Crystal. It is about 20 different people, of which almost half are here tonight. So those will be brought in by a member of that team. Presumably between Mary and myself and other people, there are people that we trust to bring things up to that space. It could also be during City Hall hours. It doesn't have to be after hours. And as those things are brought in, they are organized. We have a plethora of boxes of all shapes and sizes at the library. And I just envision the lining around a room, boxes with sizes written on it in Sharpie, and everything is really clear and organized. And how do things go back out would also be a member of that team. So our team is going to come up with basically a little order form in all the languages, and folks can get that form from the library. So they're not coming to City Hall. It is only ever going to be related to, go to the library to get this form. My board is 100% on board with that. Brought it up at our meeting. They had no problem with it. They were like, wait, you want our permission to get things out of the library? Yes. So they can come get their form from the library. We can help them fill it out if they need. Understanding that library staff helps folks apply for jobs, helps folks find rentals, helps folks pay their bills on the phone when they can't speak English. We help people do all kinds of things that you might think are beyond the bounds of the library if you're thinking of the library in terms of 60 years ago when all it was books. That is not what libraries do anymore. So we can help people fill out that form, and they give it to us, and we give it to the Heart and Soul team. Heart of the Soul team. We do this all the time with things. We act as liaison between Iowa Works, between Vote Rehab, the AEA. We have all kinds of people leave things at the library for other people. So this is a thing that we do all the time. So this is not anything new for us. So we would only have designated drop-off times for things. We would make sure a Heart of Postville person was there to vet the things to make sure they're clean and they don't smell and they're things that we can organize. And so the library just facilitates all of that. So no one's at City Hall, and it isn't the library staff necessarily doing any sort of clothing sorting or any of that. It can be the Heart of Postville team. So did that answer that, Becky? Sorry.
Yeah, you did. I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say who are the people you're gonna have notification for people to donate this stuff or have it in paper or whatever?
So we'll advertise it like we do anything else. I right now get maybe a phone call or an email every week with someone wanting to know if they can give me things. I've got some clothes. Can I donate those
And
somewhere?
then they bring them to the library.
And we
you
would
just-
have a specific time. It's not just a free for all. It would
And
be
they're not gonna like a stack of all kinds of stuff in the library.
No.
Just-
no, they would physically bring them in and we would go through those things with them and make sure they were okay. We're not just going to take anything. Probably we could even make appointments. It would be by appointment only. So That way it's not just random stuff showing up, because I don't want that at the library any more than anybody wants that anywhere, right? And the other thing too is, like, if you're looking at your action plan, this came directly from the data and from what people were saying about under welcoming, find a permanent location for clothes, home goods, and supplies so that we can support folks when they're here. I know right now, myself, I take all these things out of the community and take them to Depot Outlet. Well, and then people from our community go and buy them at Depot Outlet. And Depot Outlet's great, right? Not saying they're not great. Right now, too, I've been donating things to Hobbies and More, and there's still room for all of that to happen. I just think we need to do a better job of supporting folks when they first get here. So this is for newcomers. And then another thing I wanted to bring up, I have a bunch of people from different organizations who are kind of doing some of this work right now, and I wanted them to come introduce themselves. So will you guys come on up, this furniture Sherpa.
Hi, I'm Kathy Mitchell, and I'm part of a group from the Decorah area who have been supporting and welcoming a lot of your immigrants in this community. Personally, I do a lot with getting furniture for people because that's the need. When they first come, they may have their apartment, they have nothing in it. And so I have been collecting beds and sofas, tables and chairs, kind of your basic kind of things. I used to do a lot of extra things too, but I can't. You have had so many new people coming in the last, I'd say probably about 8 months or so. Actually tomorrow I will be picking up and delivering 4 queen beds and a dining table and chairs and 2 sofas. Mm-hmm. I'm 70 years old. I can't keep doing this. I really think it would be really helpful for this community, and also our immigration working group that's paying for a storage shed in Decorah at the rate of $720 a year, donated, by different people and everything. It makes so much more sense to have the space here, because then, I stage it there, and then I have to arrange, because I have to borrow a trailer. My vehicles are wearing out because I'm putting on so many miles, but it'd be so much more sense to have it be able to be here where people could come and look and pick out, and whatever. Right now it's kind of by guess and by golly what they're going to get, because I just don't have a way to coordinate all that, nor do I have the time or the energy. So, my appeal is that we have some kind of, system that we can bring things, and I would still be collecting things. I'm kind of known as the recycling queen. And then the other part of what we do, the Neighbors Helping Neighbors group, and actually it started through Decorah Community Meal. When we closed down for COVID, we had $2,000 that was available. And so we created a program called Guatemalan Basics. And what it is, it's a 50-pound bag of rice, it's a 22-pound bag of black beans, or 25-pound bag of black beans, and a 22-pound bag of Maseca tortilla mix. And that costs about $90, and it will sustain a family probably for a good 4 weeks to 6 weeks, depending on the size of the family. But it's kind of a crucial piece for them transitioning here, because first of all, it's what they're accustomed to. So it's a way of welcoming. And I will tell you right now, I believe our fund is in arrears of $436, but this has been fully funded by donations from people from the different faith communities and churches. And the other part of our program is providing transportation for people to their check-ins in Postville, to Des Moines, when they need fingerprints and eye scans and things like that. And occasionally it may be like a medical appointment in La Crosse or something like that. And so I know we're having a hard time kind of keeping up with drivers, but it'd be really great if, some of the people in Postville would, want to volunteer and be a part of that. The UCC church kind of manages that, and they do background checks, and then money has been raised to cover gas, and sometimes a food card. So, but it'd just be really great to have Postville people that are involved in this. So, anyway.
Can you talk about the consulate?
Oh, Guatemalan consulate. Over the years, I have been taking people to Chicago to get their passports and IDs and things like that. And over a year ago, the man who was the head there, they decided they're going to open a consulate in Omaha, and so they transferred him there. Since that time, since a year ago, April, the people here have not had access to consulate services because Chicago won't serve them. And now I'm up to like 500 requests of people that need. So we would pay for a van, you know, to take people to Chicago and back. It's totally unrealistic to do that. And so I have asked Senior Munoz, and I'm in the process of putting together what they call a mobile consulate that will be occurring here in Postville. And I've also spoken with the Lutheran Church, which is just an ideal layout and setup. Have the consulate there, and they should be able to process 500 people in a day. He's really good at the efficiency. I've worked with him before. But anyway, then that would eliminate that transportation end of things. And then we would probably be on a yearly rotation to have them come here, along with doing like occasional trips with people that are in need to Omaha and come back. But there's a lot of that kind of involved. So, I'm missing.
Good thing.
Kudos, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't freak out. I'm not asking to put furniture in City Hall, okay? Mary and I are working with some church folks as well, and maybe potentially wouldn't it make more sense to have a storage unit in town than the storage unit in Decorah for the larger items? What I wanted you guys to be aware of is there are a lot of folks, there's even more than this. This isn't everything. There are a lot of folks outside our community doing things for our community for free or by volunteer, and those things won't continue to happen by magic if we don't get engaged in those things. So the only thing I'm asking for today is to have those 2 small rooms we looked at in that small apartment, which have linoleum flooring that I will sweep and mop and dust, and have very organized clothing in one, and something that can be carried, small like dishes or, you know, a toaster, very small home goods organized in the other. And I can almost guarantee that those rooms will spend more time being empty than they will being full because of the need for things. So that is what I'm asking for. Yes, sir.
I'm fine with this upstairs storage, but man, I feel sorry, you got furniture up the steps.
No, she just said.
No, we are not
That's
asking
not
to put furniture items
Yeah,
upstairs
that's-
or in City Hall at all.
Okay,
No.
that's,
Just clothing and small house goods that someone
that
can
makes more
carry.
sense. Okay, yeah.
Toaster, small microwave,
Yeah.
dishes.
Don't need to-
No, no.
Crystal, was it the ones up above us or on that end?
Those, I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just saw these 2 little tiny rooms that were right next to each other and had linoleum flooring.
I just didn't know if it was like using the steps that were accessible here or those.
And the public won't be up there at all.
No, but for you, so I mean, if
Well, our
this,
team, between all of us, we've got quite a few.
but I'm just saying, you know, up the steps and there's a room versus having to,
Put on-
so,
So what?
I'm not
steps
saying
are
I'm-
Well,
there?
there's an outside
They're right
entrance
there.
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a there and a there. But
So you can go up this steps here.
Yeah, and it's that
Access
first
instead of-
apartment.
And that's a pretty wide step, I think, too, isn't it?
Wider than
Wide.
this one.
You know,
So this is a starting point.
Like a one-time thing for like newcomers to the town, or
Like
is it
when-
more like
yes,
a
for
regular
newcomers.
thing?
Like when we
Anybody
had, just for newcomers probably, like when we had that wave come over summer and then winter started and we had folks with no clothes and
How
we
do you
did that at
know
the
when they
library.
come? How do you know when they get here?
Well, I mean, I work in the library, so I make a lot of copies and see folks come in and I walk around a lot and I talk to people and I talk to business owners
I
and
know I can do it with my sewing machine.
the school, obviously there were over 120 newcomer students. Yeah.
I don't know how, but my name gets around. As a new person in town. No, seriously. My name gets around to every new immigrant in town. And they'll contact me, Kathy.
So you know where to send them.
We also know everyone that comes into the library, and so when we see a new face, we ask them, "Oh, are you new to town? Where are you from? Do you have these things? Do you need like we do that as a regular thing at the
Can I
library?"
bring my sewing machine?
You want to donate it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You guys have to approve this first, but just for those
Usually
new
there's
ways,
requests for sewing machines, you know, there have been.
I think that Hobbies and More is a great solution for folks once they're settled. I don't think we need to continue to support folks once they're here, but when they show up and they came literally with their kid on their back and no belongings, and we have people with extra stuff. I have a pile in my bedroom right now. I would love to organize into boxes to give to people. And if we could do it at the library, I would do it. There's other places in town we could probably figure it out, but it seems to make sense to me since we already have connections and there's a whole upstairs space not being used. So
Well, then if we're only gonna do it for newcomers, and then the newcomers stop for a while, then you just.
they
leave.
never stop, Becky.
Crystal, can I talk?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kim Nelson. I've been working with the Postville Food Pantry for about 1.5 years. The food pantry is one of the first stops for newcomers. We serve between 90 and 100 families every week, just on Tuesdays from 2 to 5. In any given week, we have between 4 and 10 new applications coming in, new families coming in. So.
I never thought about that.
But so we're one of the first stops that and one of the first contacts for those families coming in. It has been consistent over the last 1.5 years that I've been there, and we actually just had a new wave of new hires, and so we've had quite a demand in the last few weeks.
Now, what are the average size? Are they like families of little kids? Families of 2, families of 5.
It varies. It varies, but it can be anywhere from single young person to a family of 8.
When you say 100 families, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, I work at Decora Food Pantry as well on Friday afternoons, and so a lot of the immigrants who work at the plant who are off on Fridays will then go to Decora to be served if they can't come on Tuesdays. And so we're hitting people that I never see on Tuesdays in Decora on Fridays.
Thank you.
Another group we have coming that you guys might not realize is a large amount of unaccompanied minors.
Oh, yeah.
So, if they're coming in, again, like think about, if I'm 30 coming in and I don't have any belongings, it's hard enough. But if I'm 18 or 17, sorry, you could be 17, obviously, and have no belongings and don't speak the language and have to get all that figured. So this is just a help to get started and get established, and then they can go to Hobbies and More, and they can go to Depot Outlet, and they can do all those things. So,
Are there any shoes or anything like not fire hazard, but like too much over to fire hazard? Is that the
well, I would stop taking donations if the space was full, but I don't think it will get to that point.
Keep more rooms up. We have more rooms in that.
I think the maps are more flammable than any donations we could take.
Some rooms are gonna get cleaned up.
The maps.
For the map, for the flooring.
Has all the flooring been ripped out already?
They're still working at it, but they've got quite a bit of it done.
Quite a bit. Yeah. All right. Well, any more questions for Crystal? So Crystal's looking for some, if you folks approve this, you're looking for 2 rooms? 1 room?
Yep, those 2 small ones in the first apartment, they have linoleum flooring and nothing needs to be done except a sweep and a mop. And I and my mom are all ready to do that. And the team.
So I guess Matt, for confidentiality reasons being, above you guys, is there any issues you have with it happening up above you?
I was gonna drill a hole in the floor, but
No, but I just mean overhearing, you know, with radios, with being phone conversations, and you know, it's it's just a different level of confidentiality on conversations being overheard.
I'm not for sure if they can even hear the conversation room. If they're talking about where the fire department was at, is it that room
No, I think she's talking the other end. I think she's talking
down
about.
this end?
No,
She's going
this
this
end
end.
down here.
the first apartment we went up the stairs, and there's 2 small bedrooms in there.
Is it where the fire
But
I
then
mean,
department was
people
at?
used to live up there,
Yeah.
so
They did.
Yeah, and but we're talking about it. I just, you know, I want to ask
Norma,
the questions.
You got it. Please, yeah.
you can always ask.
Because I'm
if
all
it's an
for
okay
it.
time,
I just
too.
want to make sure.
Well, we could call and say we have some stuff to bring. It's now good, and y'all could say no.
Like you said, someone would do.
To reassure you about the problems of maybe overhearing what's going on with Matt. Way back when, early 60s, we had this apartment. You go up and there's an apartment to the left and an apartment to the right. In the southeast corner, I lived in that apartment. And the only thing you could hear was if I went into the bathroom and someone else was in the other apartment in their bedroom or bathroom, I don't know, and you could hear maybe some light conversation. Never heard anything. And in that time, the grocery store was going on down here. You could never hear anything. We did have TVs back then, but you could never hear TV or any of that stuff.
You could hear wall to wall, just not.
Wall to wall, but
just
you
not-
couldn't hear
okay.
anything that went on down here. And even if you were going up the steps, you very seldom heard. I don't know now with Matt if that would be a house.
I can hear up the steps, but I can't. Like when the fire department was up above my office, I can hear them walking around, but that's all I can hear.
Yeah,
I
and
can hear them talking or anything.
We could never hear anything, from either,
Okay.
either one. It was like wall to wall, like I said. You're
Yep.
right.
Okay,
You can't hear.
thank you.
They are, I don't know, well insulated or whatever, if it's the flooring or what.
Are you
A little
gonna,
bit of a stomper.
Pretty
are you gonna,
Tread lightly.
are you gonna sort the stuff up there?
I will literally, we'll walk in, someone will have a pile of stuff in their hands and put it in the labeled boxes.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna be sorted. up
It's gonna
there.
be like a 5-minute process.
Yeah, yeah, and I just didn't know how that was.
And then when we come to grab, we have an order, it'll be like, all right, they need 3 tea, they need this, we'll have a bag, boom, ready to go.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be up there very often.
Yeah.
And it'll look nicer than it does now.
No, I'm all for the idea and the usage of space, as long as it doesn't interfere with official business going on with Darcy over here or with Matt over there. I'm all for it, as long as it doesn't have an issue with our city's policies in the building. So.
How long does furniture that comes in, how long does that stick around?
not very-
We're not gonna use it for furniture.
No, I know. I thought about
Yes, yes,
something like, that'd be a place to have furniture here in
How long
town.
do you hang on to stuff?
Lately, it's been going out and coming, and sometimes it doesn't even stop at the storage shed, it's going directly to families.
I'm just talking about travel time, your travel time, or they have garage sales in Greenland. But, maybe the fair board wouldn't be up for that either. Could increase your traffic and all that stuff, so.
It's not-
I think a storage unit where we are getting maybe churches or people in town to donate funds to that
Yeah.
would make more sense for those large ticket
Yeah,
items.
But just as travel, you're losing a lot of time and
Well,
money in travel.
What I'm thinking by having things in town and working with these community groups already doing this work is that we're getting things from in town. Like I said, I've got literally like 5 people waiting for me to tell them I can take their stuff from them between clothes, and I have some dishes I'm willing to
Sure.
give. And if we were getting these things in town and staying in town, I know we have the need, and I know we have folks ready to get rid of stuff. I mean, I still am getting people coming into the library, and we haven't done that winter clothing drive since January. I still have people come in weekly to ask if they can give us clothes and stuff. So I know we've got stuff in town, and we have people moving all the time and leaving town, and they don't want to take all that, all those clothes and things. And we have people whose kids outgrow things. And
Would you, would it, considered an organization that will be able to give a receipt?
We aren't yet. That is something we could look into. We're working on our mission statement and stuff as well right now. I think right now it's just going to be
A lot of times
donations.
when I donate, I like the receipts I can put in.
You know, with the new tax reform, unless you're really doing a lot of itemizing, you're not going to get the benefit from that. But if people didn't
Well, I'll
like
try
it,
it anyway.
they can go to Depot Outlet and get their receipt if they want.
Thing with the notification to Heather and during city hall times.
Yeah. We can totally do that.
Oh, I mean, you know, I'm to Heather to Darcy.
Yeah.
If it's furniture that you would do through me, we can do a receipt through the Northeast Iowa Peace and Justice Center.
Ma'am, do you mind coming up to the, see, we're broadcasting and they cannot hear you. So, yeah, I hate to make you go back and forth, but that's how this goes. So,
Glad
yeah.
you stuck around.
I was gonna say, if you're referring to furniture and larger items that you would donate through us, then we can do a donation receipt through the Northeast Iowa Peace and Justice Center, which is a 501(c)(3).
Yep.
I can give you their contact info if you need it.
Darcy,
All right.
do you have an opinion on it?
I have no opinion. I was just curious how it all would work, and I'm fine. I prefer if, you know, we're letting you in during city hall hours because we don't really have keys to issue.
Sure. No problem.
Yep, we've got a motion.
I move that we allow the use of 2 rooms upstairs in the City Hall to be used for storage of heart of Postville items,
All right.
Clothing and small items
clothing
only.
and small
Yep.
items.
That's furniture.
Yeah.
And only during city hours, city office hours.
Add that to the motion.
Or only during hours that is convenient for city clerk and assistant clerk, whatever you want to phrase it.
That ought to work. Is
I
there a
would-
second?
I would second that.
All right. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Got her done, Chris.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. I would just like to express the support that we're getting from Decorah. I had no idea. I'm, that in this community, there's 500 people that need a passport. Yeah, I mean, and you've arranged for that to come here. That is, appreciate that very much. So,
Woohoo! Yes.
Way to go.
Yes.
My name is Ruth Palmer, and I've volunteered with the Northeast Iowa Peace and Justice Center since 2011, working with primarily immigrants here in Postville. And the other thing that we help provide rides for all those who have to check in at Homeland Security at Cedar Rapids. And so a coordination of that, and especially those who don't have driver's license, which most of them don't, as their first year. We also coordinate and work with trying to get attorneys for the unaccompanied minor youth that are eligible for the special immigrant juvenile status. And so we work with Archdiocese of New York Catholic Charities for an attorney for that, also with the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice. And in Decorah quarterly, we have free legal clinics that usually have, right now it's 5 appointments for free consults with a specialized immigration attorney who usually comes from Des Moines, from the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice. And we've been doing that since 2013. So, and most of them have come from this area.
can I add, what's the name of that organization we're with?
I work with the Northeast Iowa Peace and Justice Center,
Peace and Justice. Okay.
and we've always called ourselves the Immigration Working Group, but we are changing our name to the Immigration Action Network because a lot of what we're doing is networking and connecting those resources, especially with the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice and Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services.
And you're based out of Decorah.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for that too. I had no idea.
Yeah, in this world that we live in, when we know there's lots of problems and I didn't know you guys existed.
No, I didn't either.
But so you try to make as many things as you can legal, and that's what you're doing, and that's fantastic.
kudos.
And Kim, thanks for your help with the food banks. Plural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Much appreciated, all of you.
Okay, let's go on to item 8 then. That's the flooring bid for the police department. You guys got that in front of you? So this is it's going to be the same floor as what's right in front of you. You know,
Okay.
that's what it's about. Guys, have a great evening.
Thanks, you guys.
And like is stated that our city workers will take out the old carpet, which will save us that money. So
Save
yeah,
the 2157.
yeah.
This is on company car.
Yeah, that's the only one that we know is for here in City Hall.
Yeah.
The carpet back there is shot, and they get a lot more foot traffic probably than what you see here. And the winter, it's pretty sloppy back there for carpeting. Yeah.
Does this get slippery?
No, it doesn't. It just looks slippery. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it
Now, is
doesn't.
that in both of those, all those rooms on that over there?
Yeah, it'd be Matt's office, the interrogation, the hallway, and where the officers are.
Yep, except evidence room, we're gonna be, I'll just leave that carpet. There's no sense of being there. In the interview room, the closet area.
Oh, well, that's not a big deal. It's
Just
cover
cut
that.
Yeah, I'm just,
And then we talked about, didn't we talk about that?
What?
In evidence room.
that was part of the interview room.
Yeah.
So,
Is that big room in here too with the table? Is it included?
No,
That's
that's
done.
already,
Break rooms
that's
already
got,
That's
That's-
done.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
this would just be all back in the place.
So you have to take all the furniture you have has to come out.
Yes.
All the,
Yes.
the radios, computers,
They got it.
bases.
all
Yeah.
that's gonna be in here.
Okay.
They won't be able to use that for a little while because it's got.
So
gotta
we got,
grind it
might
out.
get found some spare time, you know, move.
Right time, still working. I work late, don't I? Move.
Yes, you do. Then he goes and mows lawn. Yeah. Yeah.
Keeps the neighbors out.
Yeah, it does.
Either that.
Can't hear
Yeah.
that.
Did you have a chainsaw running?
Yesterday,
Yeah.
cut down a tree.
Okay. So anyway,
What do you think?
what's your opinion on that? Because it truly is. It's in bad disarray, and you know how old carpet gets. It's just bad.
It's carpeting now.
It's all carpet. I was gonna have it shampooed, and
I
that's.
think we should do it.
Yeah.
It'll be easier to clean and it'll be, those
No,
carpets
that's
can.
his brother. That was his brother. That was Grant.
He on the podium. I mean, he's come back to our house and fixed little nicks and dings. Maybe hasn't had that kind of traffic here, but he was at church. He also came back. They come back.
Yeah,
and productions.
They're a good outfit. Good. And I think everybody and it's honestly a really easy floor to keep clean. You know that.
We got a bid for them at our house.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know that that's the name of the color now, because.
Yeah.
So I guess, if you guys, if you so desired, I need a motion to go ahead with that
We hired
project.
Diversity Coatings to take care of the police floor, but the city will take care of the tear out
Yep.
of the carpet, right?
Yes, yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further
I was
discussion?
gonna too. We had 3.
We ready to go?
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Carried. Thank you. Then item 9 then is engineering proposals for the Zieglar project. So what you got in front of you, and Darcy, you throw in some enlightenment there too, but we got the one from Snyder and we're waiting on,
And engineering.
for Erdman Engineering. He's been on vacation. So we're really only giving you half a shot here, but we think it's a big deal. And, if you add up the Snyder proposals, what are we at? 30, 35, and then 35. So you're up there to 40,000. So yeah.
So based on 10 to 15% engineering, you're probably looking at $300,000 to $400,000 project. So the reason why we went to Schneider first was because that's who Zieglar's engineer is. So we thought maybe it would, you know, being they're working with them, they're familiar with the project because they're already in it. That's why we met with them and extended them to give us a bid. And we got the bid, and we thought we better call Lindsay.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
And he's been out of
Yeah.
the office too, so I didn't
So
get a
Erdman
bid.
would do what Schneider has proposed here.
Right, so what we want is for the first 5,000, if you read it, would be just to explore. There's 3 different locations that we were looking at, you know, to extend the water and sewer. So we would probably need to investigate those 3 options and find out what makes the most sense.
And how long is this proposed good for? I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either, but she's been calling nonstop. So I know Zieglar is itching to get moving. The building permits have been submitted.
Oh,
And
that's
right
good.
now they're getting the bidding on the subs. So I think we want to start moving dirt here
Pretty,
soon.
you bet. It'll happen pretty quick. Yep.
Good.
So yeah, so we're waiting to hear from Erdman, but at least you've got an idea, you know, of what this project might cost.
We're just waiting then for you expect that in the next week or?
I hope, yeah, we should have it soon. I think he's back here at the end of the week.
You don't have anybody to do it besides Lindsay when he's gone?
Yeah, he lost his guy. He
Yeah,
went to
he
the
went to
city of
Decorah.
Decorah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, honestly, we were a little surprised when Darcy called him that he would even interested. But you know, we've worked with him for so many years. I mean, he knows this city like the back of his hand. So if anything, you know, I mean, you got
yeah,
experience,
give him a shot.
you know, and yeah.
No, that's, well, and you can't get an average or an honest bid if you only have one. So.
Yeah, right. So this is more just information, you guys. So yeah. Any questions on that? All right, we'll go on to item 10 then, water rates, Darcy.
So it's that time of year again where you are to review your water rates. I gave you our current rates in your packet. I also gave you some information from the financial advisor that is recommending you at least do a 2%, knowing that you have the Zieglar project coming down. That's what my recommendation would be, is to at least consider a 2% increase. So if you're wanting to do that, we would need the city attorney to draft the ordinance for your review at the July meeting.
Supposed to be 2% increase, right?
Yeah.
We kind of was, pick where we didn't increase, you know, we did nothing, then we had to have a win.
Right.
So you gotta just keep stepping it up. Just good. Everything going on.
So we're not passing ordinance. we're
No,
everything
you're just
you want.
directing me what percentage you want the ordinance to be drafted at. So is that a motion?
We need a
You want
motion.
it to be?
Yes, yeah, we need a motion on
Make a
that.
motion to, yeah, draft an ordinance to increase the cover recommended 2%.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Very second, yeah. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed say no. Carried. All right. Let's go on then to item 12, review Director of Community Development job description. I'll have a chance to take a look at that. Any,
I made a few.
You have some changes?
Yeah.
Okay.
you want to read them off?
You can look at them. if you can read my writing.
Oh, okay, so you're just correcting my language.
Just
Okay, so you're not adding any
grammatical things.
Yeah,
not-
because we had met on this.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, if we're okay with this job description, I'll send it over to the city attorney to draft a independent contract for your review at the next meeting, and then proceed with advertising.
That's where I saw that, about a chamber of commerce, which we don't have.
We do.
We
have-
do.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I just got their financials today. So
Oh.
yeah, I met with Christine Drehos and we went over all of the.
Oh, so when did we start getting those?
They've been there. We just
Oh,
haven't, they've been not very active.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
Hibernation.
Yeah, we're gonna wake them up.
The bears.
Besides Christina, who else is on that?
Tony Gerke is the president. Christina Drehos is the vice president. Ross Malcolm is the treasurer, and I am the secretary of the chamber.
So we need a motion then to.
Yeah, I just need, if you're okay with it, I need a motion that you're okay, and I'll send it over to the city attorney.
That's the director of community development, this job description with the.
Second,
I'll second.
for the discussion. Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Carried. All right, then, item 13, ordinance number 696-24, an ordinance adding new chapter 124, mobile food vendors to the Postville, Iowa Code of Ordinances. This would be the second reading tonight. Already had the first reading, and this is the second.
Just so you know, I had another food truck come in today wanting to sell.
So, like, what kind of things are they thinking of selling?
This one was Salvador food.
I mean, but have the other ones all been like tacos mostly, or are there
Well,
other ones?
there's only 2 taco trucks in town,
Yeah.
and they were approved by the city council because they're local,
Right.
live here. They got permission. However, any food truck or vendor coming in here would have to file a solicitor's license from
Yeah,
us.
right, yeah.
And it really doesn't fit the model of a food truck. This is probably more where we're looking at food licensing,
Oh, okay.
where that basically we're doing background checks and Matt's making sure they're not a criminal. You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, now. I'm just wondering what different kinds of foods they want to bring in, like an ice
Yeah,
cream
the last one
or-
I had was today actually was the El Salvador.
So it's just.
Had calls from a seafood, a seafood or something. I think they were at the farmer's market one day last year.
Oh, yeah?
We had turned them away because they didn't have, they would need
Oh,
a solicitor. So under this code section, if they're with a special event, they have to have, under that event,
Yeah.
that they would have to have an agreement signed.
Right.
I was just wondering.
Dang, I want a wine truck at the.
At the city council meeting.
Or 2 hours early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Sure.
That's not a bad idea. I was over to Lawler Turkey, the craft show in October. Cedar Rapids, moving business.
You bet.
It was crazy.
Well, and if you guys have a bunch of food trucks parked together, you're gonna have people walking
Right,
around,
yeah.
holding in our shops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's all good.
this excludes alcohol in ours.
Right.
Alcohol, that's just good.
Just outside
That's
city
just
limits.
Yeah, let's set up one of them.
51.
You can get my customers drunk over there.
Yeah, I'll need a motion.
Need a motion to accept the second reading.
Yeah, make a motion to accept the second reading of ordinance
696-2 for adding the chapter 124 to the.
I'll second that.
No, it has to be, yeah, roll call.
Yeah, okay. Whenever you're ready.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes,
Engelhardt.
yes.
Okay, so it'll go
Can I
to a
make a motion
third.
to waive the third reading?
I'd second that.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to waive the third reading. Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
It wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, the roll call.
Moore.
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
All right. So it's kind of a done deal. All right. Thanks. We go on to item 14 then, council tablets.
All right, so last we talked about these tablets, we wanted more pricing, so I got that information for you. T-Mobile is probably between T-Mobile and US Cellular, I would say, based on the cost. Did read that T-Mobile bought out US Cellular, so we got a letter. We just got a letter on that.
Really?
What is happening? T-Mobile bought our T2?
Yeah, we got a letter on it just
Well, I have
recently.
USL. I should have gotten a letter, no?
Well, we got it with the city, so I didn't get it personally.
Did you find out if T-Mobile has that trial period so we can make sure that the reception?
He did say that they would make sure that they're adequate. So yeah, they checked towers and all that when I was asking.
Because they still do too much cheaper than, I mean,
In USO,
yeah. But if you look at
yeah, I was
and
looking
even
at
the prices of that, sure.
I would say the Samsung tablets are price sufficient and those would be provided at no cost.
Right. So the, what was this again? The AT&T was only for 6, the quantity was 6, and it said, like,
Yeah.
but in any case, T-Mobile is, so they'll give us a trial period so we can make sure that all the issues with the reception of the country.
Six enough? I mean, the us 5 and the mayor, or
Well, the
you
T-Mobile
included?
is for 7, only the AT&T one gave the quote for 6.
Yeah.
But are you not involved in it? Or-
I wouldn't need one. No.
Okay.
T-Mobile.
Larry don't want one.
Also, was
Larry doesn't want one, which you wouldn't have to. We can still do paper.
Was there any contract with
There wasn't. No.
Motion?
make a motion to accept T-Mobile for the quote of the tablets?
Motion, is there a second? Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye. Those say no. Carried. Sophomore just got in the 21st century.
So will these just be here for us or will we take them
Maybe
No,
home?
they'll be
Okay.
yours to carry back and forth, yeah. So then I'll just be emailing the
Emailing all
packets out,
this.
so the cops won't be delivering anymore.
Are they gonna give you a training? Or I would say the library would be happy to offer a group training sometime.
I think that's a great
Tablets.
idea.
Yeah.
Are they Android?
No, there's Samsung.
Yeah, they're Android.
Android, yeah.
Yeah. Carrie and I are both really good with Android devices.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you won't be putting
So
a
you're gonna
snake in my
take the
box
whole
then?
group or one at a time? 'Cause
So
you-
So let me ask you,
Whatever you guys want.
you want this
It would
alone?
have to be a public meeting if they
No,
all
whatever you
showed
guys
up.
want.
It would have to be posted. if
Oh,
they
yeah,
all
yeah,
showed up.
sure it will.
Yeah.
You
so
bet.
let me ask you, so the Android type, not Apple type.
Oh, Android.
Android, not iPhone.
Why the second that motion?
It'll be all right. Chris
They're
was
not
gonna
that
try.
hard.
I got you.
You can use an iPhone, you can use an Android.
And I come to every meeting, so
Yeah.
Okay, I can.
maybe I'll stop.
This old lady can learn new tricks.
There you go.
Well, maybe you can make the option, I mean, because the monthly price was the same regardless. Like if the member wants to personally change the device, like if Baker feels more comfortable. So maybe for that price, like she wants to purchase that one, like for the 99, let's say. That won't affect our monthly cost, you know?
No, right.
So the Samsungs are free, but let's say to have the option, it won't change the total if you want a different device.
I can. I'm. Oh, but thank you. I appreciate your concern. Thank you.
Should we move on? Let's go on to item 15 then, the consent agenda.
I have a question.
Sure.
Excuse me. On the library, I was looking at would the approval of in a couple of wages. Was that part of your? Was that in your budget?
Yeah, we're under on our budget for wages, and I'm also going to redo our budget since we asked for 4,000 more and we didn't get it. I'm gonna rearrange everything and put more into our wages, and take it out of the books probably.
You guys did a lot of work.
We get a ton of books. Yeah, we don't have to get that many books, so.
That was my concern because I didn't know if it was a part.
I
of
don't
it.
ask for anything from the board if we can't afford it.
Anything else in the consent agenda? Okay.
Oh, wait. No, I don't. We can talk during the.
I have a question on the camera fine. It doesn't seem like a very big number.
It's going down.
Going down this
What was
construction.
the high?
What's that?
What was the high?
The highest?
Yeah.
Back in
The
October or November at 119. But it's getting to be summer, so you notice it's starting to come back up.
Okay. I'm just curious, how do you plan, the half goes to police, half goes to public safety, right?
No, it all goes to police.
All goes to police.
Yeah, they're the public safety.
Or, I thought it might have been,
No, we can't do that.
no, can't do that. So it all
And we
goes to
did get
police.
a email from the DOT just last week that we will have to file an application with them for a permit. And it's got to be filed by July 1st. And I did ask for the application and how much. And they said they don't have the application drafted yet and it won't cost anything. So as soon as they have it, they're supposed to email it to us so that we get it filed in time. But we're already doing everything. We're already doing everything that the law requires.
They
So-
actually, they wrote the law after our ordinance is what they did, but yeah. So, the state took it over.
Yeah. There's a law now. Speed
The
cameras.
Speed cameras. You have to be permitted now and they had all the rules and regulations. So what they did, they took the ordinance that you folks all put together and it's a state law.
Why didn't they take somebody else's ordinance?
Because we did it right. Yes.
Have we done speed cameras?
Sure.
I just want to know, how does that affect the cash, your cash flow of the city of that, with your police officer and stuff like that, it's going down.
But remember, Larry, we didn't budget any of that money.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was mainly hopefully to hire an officer.
You bet.
And officer salaries increases that they got. So,
Yep.
I'm gonna hate to see it dry up.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember though, before we put any of this together, we looked through all of the data that they had from every city in the 4-county area that's got them. And that's exactly what happened. It started here and it just, there she goes. And like Chief said, of course, right now we got a lot of construction going here. So that slowed it up. But it didn't slow up traffic. So, you know, who knows what this might, but we knew that, you know, going into this, that this thing was going to get less. And that's why we knew that you don't put any of that money into a budget because you can't do that. So,
And that's good because that means people aren't speeding as much.
Right.
absolutely. That's,
Kids are
yes,
getting run over.
yes. Yeah. It's all a good sign, you know, yeah. Yes, you bet.
Well,
Yep.
you might find once these streets aren't torn up anymore, that might change again
It could.
for a while
It
and then
could,
go back
yes.
down again.
Yeah.
Are we going to ask about the street project or we're not on that topic?
Well, you can, but it's not in the, is it in the consent agenda?
Not unless he's
How
asking.
much of the
about
street
public
project is paid by the state or the government, federal government, and how much is paid by the city?
works.
Somebody
So
asked me.
the city's portion of the project was 1.1 million, like 1.1 million and 1.2 million, I want to
Okay.
say. I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head what the total project amount was, but we're only paying for the water line that's coming through. We'll be paying for the parking areas on the state highway for those to be resurfaced. We had a couple of storms that we'll be responsible for, and I think a couple of curbs. That's about it.
About it.
But mainly it's you're
It's
fixing
a
the water
DOT
lines under
project.
this project, that you don't come December, January and have to fix them again,
Hopefully.
right?
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
new
that's the
infrastructure
idea.
underneath
Yeah.
that baby.
Well, they had it tore up, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that there was gonna be more widening. Are we not seeing that yet?
Of the roads?
Yeah.
The only thing you saw, no. The only thing wider is the sidewalks. That's the American Disabilities Act, that the
Okay,
sidewalk,
okay,
and
yeah.
that's federal money,
Okay.
right? So, and that's the city, we're not paying a dime of
They
that.
even put sidewalks where they didn't have them before,
No, they didn't.
up by, up north, Lawler. That Lawler, this,
That's how closer to where Zieglar's are going to be building than it ever was.
they didn't have sidewalks on,
Don't tell them.
along the highway, like,
Where those trees were at?
huh?
Where the trees were at, where they took the trees down, took a sidewalk that way
It's going
on the west
north,
side,
north.
west side,
North is that way.
west side road, but
Mhm.
north, right?
West is that way.
Okay, north, yeah,
Yeah.
that way.
But on
Yeah.
the west side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It went a little further, like
They
out
didn't
with
have one on
Ziegler's
the
new
east side
build.
though either,
Right.
did they?
Yes.
There wasn't a sidewalk in front of Riddell Coast Place.
You kind of stopped right there.
I
just didn't-
don't think.
I guess I didn't notice it because you couldn't see it for the.
It went a little bit into Ziegler's new build area.
So then, and then the resurfacing of the highway, that's a state project. So, and you'll see resurfacing from Highway 18 to the four-way stop, and then Highway 51 going that way, and that's state. Highway 1852 going west will not be resurfaced. They did a concrete patching there, so yeah.
No, the west isn't gonna be.
So is your sidewalk going to get torn up out
Yes,
here really bad?
all of those sidewalks,
That
all of
should
the
be starting
sidewalks. were
here.
tore.
They
Yeah,
said by this,
I seen the corner was.
maybe by the end of
So
this
they're
week.
not gonna cover the road on west, going west? on-
Right. That will not be resurfaced.
Oh,
And that's in essence done now. I mean, other than the
yeah.
Facade.
the sod work.
And I've been asked again, are they gonna replant trees? And I said no.
I
They
was
can put them
surprised they
on that
left the
side of
few
the
trees they
sidewalk.
did. That didn't make sense.
Is the whole project cost like over? Or?
Oh,
busy.
my.
I was gonna say, it's a fair statement to say, if you don't know all the numbers, that the city is paying a very small part of it compared to, because I've had people coming in the library going, oh, the city's paying for this whole project, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, they're not.
No.
No, it's a true gift,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so
We
yeah.
are blessed
And
to
to
get
do the
that.
water lines while everything is torn up saves us money
Yeah.
versus doing it later.
And then where we put on military, where the city put the water line in, they actually give us a little bit of roadway so that that water line will not be underneath the road, which is a plus, you know, so. I think the DOT's been pretty easy to work with, aren't they? But yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't put the flowers in the downtown too. You might have noticed that because
Oh,
of
yeah, I thought
the
about that.
construction that's going to be starting here within the next week. So we'll be moving those plants that are on the main drag too. So
For that,
what?
what was the flower bill for?
It was for we bought them for Main Street,
Yeah.
but then we thought they'd be dead by the time they dug the sidewalk and everything out. So they're over in the parks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Is that why we got some of the ones?
That's why you got two.
They're really lovely.
They are. They're great.
keep them alive.
See 'em on the cameras.
All right. Anything else for the consent agenda? Is there a motion to accept it as printed?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of approval say aye. Opposed say no. All right. So then, item 16, a resolution for money to pay the claims.
And there were a lot of them.
There were a bunch. You guys got the initial of them, yeah.
I so moved.
One second.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, item 17, public comment again. If anybody's got anything to say.
Really quick.
All right.
No.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good
kidding
for
you.
town.
I'm kidding.
The Clayton County Development Group is doing taking new footage for their county advertising, like tourism video. You may have seen snippets of it in recent campaigns. So they're redoing it. They did it about 4 years ago, and they're doing it again. And I chatted with Darcy. We picked the locations. I posted this on Facebook. We need some volunteers on Wednesday, June 19th at 10 o'clock to go shopping down Green Street, to be walking around Green Street, to go into La Canasta. We only had so much time in so many places, and it's like we're going to hit the Globe again because that's really pretty. And then Green Street's like right there. We have a bunch of new businesses open and stuff. So, and then La Canasta kind of features a story you're not going to see in any other town in Clayton County, right? So they're going to do the pool too, but we don't need volunteers at the pool, so keep your suits off. But yeah, we just need folks in bright colors. They asked for no branding if possible. You know, it's like no Nike, really big, but bright colors. Walking around, shopping in the store. Real shopping is good too. I'm going to give them a little letter, you know, making sure they know what's going on, and then walking up and down Green Street.
10 a.m.
So yeah, that's the 19th at 10 a.m. The more people, the better. So that's what's going on with that.
Do we let you know, or we just show up?
You can just show up. You could also email me to make me sleep better at night if you wanted. So, you know, that would be cool. But if you're available, I will be one of the people doing that. So anybody can come. Anybody, all people. If you have, you know, email the staff at the school or students, or yeah, it'd be great. As many people as possible would be very cool. So.
Thank you, Crystal. Anybody else? Not, I guess, okay, we're down to the mayor's report. I just have one thing. So the other night, Community Heart and Soul wrapped up, and there was this movie that was put together. And so here I am. I sat here and I kind of watched it develop and be put together, and I said, wow, I said, honestly, where's this going? You know, it's probably more negative than anything, you know, and, but to get to where I want to go with this thing, you know, so I went to the movie, and it's like, yeah, you know, if you didn't go through these steps, if you didn't, 'cause it's a program, and a lot of it just seemed like, oh man, I don't know if this is necessary. I'm glad there was.
I felt that too sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm really glad that there were some people that said, yeah, it is necessary. You need. So when I watched the movie, and I saw these folks that are here that were part of this movie, you know, and it was like, now I think I can figure this thing out because it was printed out for me. But it's like we sat here, and especially tonight, you know, we had a group from Decorah come, these ladies come down from Decorah and tell us honestly, you know, what I didn't know anymore about this community. And so you took this group of people, I mean, every nationality we got here in this town, and they came up with these bullet points of these things that we need to do as a community to make this work. Yeah. And I said, well, yeah.
Can we still watch the movie?
It is all over the place. So are you on like the mailing list for Heart and Soul?
I get a thing when you had your meeting.
Well, I
too.
sent out an email to everyone on that list on Friday with a link to the video as well.
Okay, because I don't think I've been in my email.
Yeah, so I emailed it to 500 people. It's on Facebook on Hometown for the World, pinned at the top. It's pinned to our Postville page.
Our post, I did see our post, so I
It is
didn't look at
now
it.
public on YouTube, so it could be searched for. Before it was unlisted, because that's how I was working with RC&D, and that's how we were editing and stuff. We had to have it unlisted. So if anybody needs it and hasn't seen it, please let me know. I'm happy
I
to send
will,
it to you.
because I'd like to see it. I wasn't able to go.
I think it really helps explain the process.
Yeah,
It did.
Thank
It
you.
did. I mean, like, and it was like,
Your shopper, you should call my wife.
Okay,
She's a professional.
I will.
I'll pick her up and you can write the
And sing to Larry.
oh, I sure will.
Charles can be,
Yeah. And then, so we've got, you know, the hometown celebration parade Friday night. And so the route's been changed because we didn't know how this was going to look if it was all tore up. But so the route's changed. And then, Larry, are you still available for announcing?
Are we gonna have an announcement?
We
We
are.
are. Yeah.
I could do it.
Okay. So we're going to have Mike Monroe's auction truck set up in front of the funeral home.
Okay.
Yeah, so could you stop and get the papers from me
Well, I'll be there eventually.
on Friday?
No, you're gonna get them to the truck.
Yeah, but I'll be down there, so don't go
Oh,
flying by
get
me
them there,
like
not
you
come
did.
here during
No,
the day.
I'll be down
Good.
At the
Yeah,
park.
good start.
and don't go by me 90 miles an hour and I'll be like, the papers.
Bad rap here.
Hey,
Did you
He's
talk
down to
Neil
85
about the
now.
other two?
No, we didn't.
Can I get a quote doctor?
If you want. Do you want me to reach out or do you? Yeah, he's been
what do you need?
You should have a,
a co-announcer.
Well, if
yeah.
you, I think you could even ask Mike. He would probably do it.
Yeah.
Monroe.
oh yeah, he would know a lot of people too.
And he's kind of, you know, so I think the two of you would be quite a combination.
Oh my gosh. it's
But would they
gonna be
watch the
humorous.
parade?
So it's gonna go to the funeral home and then
It'll turn on
Maple?
Maple to the.
I need to,
their
let me
village.
ask Mike, I'll talk to, I don't want Dean to feel offended, but I'll talk. You know, since we're using Mike's equipment, it would be appropriate that he would be there.
Well, it's up to you. If you want to take care of that.
I'll take care of that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so the route's changed, but hopefully we still have lots of people coming. And I guess I forgot to ask Heather how
I
many
did too.
entries,
Yeah,
you
she
know, but
was working on
yeah.
it today.
So hopefully it's good. Weather's great, and then we got the fair, you know, this weekend. So it's a big time in our town, and we have brings in lots of kids. You can go to county fairs and not see as many kids as you'll see at this one. So they do a good job.
Roger's son is coming from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He can't wait to see, his daughter can't wait to see the animal.
There we go.
He's gonna judge some kind of a meat contest.
Yeah. It's a great cook-off.
Is
Yeah.
there when's the cook-off?
Friday,
Friday?
at 4:00. That's when he has to be there.
Okay. Yeah, I tried that once. Yeah, okay. That's another story.
Yeah.
I'm done. Council guys, you got anything to say?
And about what those women said about bringing in a lawyer for 500 people that need passports. How have they done this before? I mean, have people taken to Des Moines?
I never knew. No,
I highly recommend you guys go to one of their Zooms, even if you go once. It's like the fourth Wednesday of every month or something for the immigrant. I always called it the Immigrant Action Network, and that's not what they're called, but now they're changing to that, so I won't have to remember their real name. I learned more about immigration law. They have a woman from the youth come and speak up. She's part of Catholic Charities, talking about new immigration reform and laws and how that impacts people. And there are, I think a lot of people.
Crystal, can you come up,
Yeah,
please?
I'm sorry.
Because
I have
it's
to read
not picking you up. So,
yeah, my bad. So I think a lot of people think with immigration status, you're either legal or you're not. And it is not that simple at all. It is so convoluted. You can come here legally and become illegal because of something timing out. A lot of people waiting for their asylum hearings are waiting 3+ years. If they're in Iowa, they have to go to Omaha. It has a 98% rejection rate. And some people are here on U visas, like some of the Ukrainians are here and they get to come for 2 or 3 years and then they have to go back. But what if the war's not over? And I mean, it's just a disaster. So I learned more from that Immigrant Action Network meeting from the representative from Catholic Charities, explaining law and explaining how these things work, and that is very relevant to our community. You know, so yeah, the fact that they were driving people to Chicago and now they won't see them anymore, and Omaha hasn't been able to take them, and so you want people to do things the right way, but they literally cannot, frequently cannot. So it's it's a reform for sure.
One thing I want to say to you, Crystal, and I think ever since you came to town, it's been a tornado.
Your life has been miserable.
No, I'm just saying, you've done such a good job with so many things. It's just amazing. I appreciate that.
There are so many immigration lawyers who are illegal. They cheated these people out of money.
There are immigration lawyers that will take
Right,
cases they know they cannot win.
These people this immigration lawyer has been associated with the state.
So
I mean that they're
the mobile
reputable
consulate,
people,
yes,
you know,
yeah.
my God.
The mobile consulate isn't helping people with their cases per se. It is helping them get their visas. It is helping them get a copy of their passport. It is helping them get things they can't get from Guatemala because there's no Guatemalan consulate in Iowa. So, and they can't go anywhere else. So it's not a person who's like helping their case for going to trial for them.
Mm-hmm.
It is just someone helping them get their documents. So,
Then they could have a case at a later time.
and then they may also be waiting for an immigration, for their case to be heard, where it will most likely be declined. And that's why we have so much turnover.
They have to go
Are
back.
they forced to go back?
Yeah.
Do they go back?
I-
What?
That's why this is documented.
I just couldn't do it 98%.
Oh, I can Google it.
You know, other places that have less rejection rate.
Minnesota's got a nice private.
I was thinking I wanted to go to Minnesota. I thought
They have
about
to
this.
live there.
Oh, really? And we don't have one.
It makes this.
Again, why we have a big turnover of people coming.
They could choose to go to Minnesota, but then they may not have a job there, right?
Unless they
Right.
come
Family
tomorrow.
may not be there.
I noticed.
Yeah, okay.
Connection.
It's so.
YouTube must not have worked tonight. Paula just sent me a thing. She goes, was it not meeting not on
This thing?
YouTube tonight?
It's live stream.
What's that?
Been running all night.
No. Was there other people on? Or you can't see it on YouTube?
You can see how many is on there right now. You should say,
Paula just said she couldn't get it on
is there
YouTube. all
anybody,
night.
so it should be up in the top
We
corner.
lost Paula. Yeah. Paula doesn't need to.
And how many do
Paula who?
Let's see.
don't see nothing?
Maybe not.
Sorry, I just got her message, so.
Okay.
How many are on?
I don't see the number. But I'm pretty blind, so.
Where is it, Matt? You know where it shows?
It should be up in the top
Let
corner.
him show you.
There it is. Should say viewers.
Yeah, it's right here. You can
Yeah,
see
nothing's popping up.
She's got it on her
it.
phone.
It is.
Yeah.
We'll hold it
Do
up
you?
on her phone.
Well, Paula should.
I never thought of that.
All right, anything else, guys? Not as a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carried. Thanks, everybody. Good to see everybody.
I wore these so we could match tonight. And you didn't wear yours.
I don't know.
You got green ones though.
Yeah.
You got green ones.